Lead.
Oh, my mouth.
Oh, shit. Hi, guys. He muted me as soon as I was like, oh, hey, we're done singing. Welcome, podcast people.
Welcome, welcome.
We don't do small talk. Welcome to the podcast. I am Miss Roy.
I'm Royal Color Games.
And we talk about stuff. Every time I do the intro, I always want to say something about, like, where everything's made up and the points don't matter.
Right.
Please don't sue me, Drew Carey. Every time. And then I remember it after the episode, and I'm like, damn it, I should have said it. Okay, guys. So, we are going to talk more. Oh, okay. Rewind. We're going to put our faces on. We need faces.
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 Face.
Faces. Okay.
She doesn't get a face, though.
I'm going to bite you. Okay, we don't need to touch, but we need to be here. Anyway, we're going to talk more about time travel today. However, first we have some housekeeping.
And disclaimers.
Oh, balls, I forgot to do that.
I'll do the disclaimer real quick. Anything that we talk about during our podcast is mostly conjecture and philosophy as opposed to fact. We do try to fact check on stream, but sometimes we're just playing with an idea, so do your own research. Don't take anything we say at face value.
Giant grain of salt with pretty much everything we say. Okay, housekeeping. I could hear you clicking your pen through the whole podcast last week. It's okay. It's totally okay. It's not a bug, it's a feature. I just thought it was funny because you pulled up your pens. So, last week I couldn't remember somebody's name. Oh, he's got an invisible Deadpool. I have Bluey. Last week I couldn't remember somebody's name. It was Michio Kaku, who, when we were talking about Neil deGrasse Tyson, and I remembered someone else. You good?
Yeah.
Okay, it looked like you were about to throw up. If you are looking for video content, the videos are on the YouTube. We've put out enough enough episodes that we are pretty much kind of bingeable now. I'm kind of excited. If you're listening... That's my favorite Neil deGrasse Tyson video. If you're listening to us right now, if you can hear our voices, comment something on either our podcast or a video or something like that.
Comment your favorite way we mess up a word or a sentence.
Yep.
Or your favorite squirrel moment of the podcast.
Yeah.
Hey, Escalator.
Escalator. Hi.
Oh, no, Escalator, we'll be on topic for like 15 seconds. You know us.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, comment, rate, subscribe. It makes it huge, big. Follow us, all that good fun stuff. We are everywhere. We're everywhere.
Anywhere you can get podcasts, we're also on YouTube, and you can usually watch the VODs for Twitch for upwards of a month before it auto-deletes.
Okay, cool. We are...
Thanks for the resub.
Yay! We're talking about making coloring books in the near future. And the coloring books would be, like, based on the episodes.
I have tons of ideas for it. I am already planning out the artwork. The only snafu we're hitting is...
print companies.
Printing on demand versus, printing 50 coloring books ourselves. So keep an eye out for that. I'll tease some of the art on my Twitter, and we might even make some of the art on stream.
Stream... Okay, we are looking at possibly making new merch exclusive for Patreon, so keep an eye out for that. We started a 7-day trial for all our Patreon tiers, so if you want to take a peek and look at what's up there, go for it. All of our merch also has discounts once you get to the 2 higher tiers for the Patreon. All of our links are at beacons.ai /wddstpod.
My links thing broke.
Blah. Oh, okay. One really exciting thing. I started talking about doing Patreon exclusive book talks and reviews and stuff. It would probably mostly be on my end. And we would do like a live chat, and I would go over books that I've read. I don't know. It's a thought. kind of cool. And that would be a Patreon exclusive. And we also talked about doing... Is that a needle?
I found a sewing needle on my desk.
Fun.
Yes.
We also talked about doing Patreon exclusive movie watch along with me's. So we would watch a movie. We'd let you know what it was. We'd mute it or like dim it down in the back so we didn't get copyright bombed. And we would basically talk through it, and you could watch the movie along with us and pretend like you're watching a movie with us. Woo! What's Escalator saying?
That's all good, Escalator.
Oh, honey, no, don't even worry about that.
Only support us if you can, do so without hurting yourself.
Yeah,
Like,
don't worry about it at all.
No big deal.
Yeah, I mean, you're still on a free tier, so like, it's still boosting up our Patreon numbers. You're good, promise. Now, Roy.
Yes.
Today we talked about talking about balls. It's right there.
We did not talk about balls.
Shut up.
Time travel?
Yes, time travel. But we're talking about time travelers. Oh, we love you too, Escalator. You're so sweet. We're talking about time travelers. Now, no! Get it off! Don't put my notes up. Jerk face. Do you consider, I've been thinking about this, do you think of time slips as a type of time travel?
Time slips?
Yes. So
when you can't process time?
Oh, no, not ADHD.
Oh, okay. So not time blindness like me.
No, I'm saying, okay. So I had a realization that there are kind of two different types of time travel when you're thinking about it. There's what I would say as paranormal time travel.
Okay.
And what I would say as
scientific
or sci-fi time travel.
Okay.
So paranormal time travel.
It's like when in Supernatural they send Sam and Dean back in time.
Yes, or something like you wake up and you're in the wrong... Like, I think paranormal is more like accidental.
So,
and science fiction is more intentional.
So, like, that movie with Lonely Island where he walks into the cave and gets stuck in the time loop, that would be supernatural.
Yeah, I would consider that more supernatural, but they did find a scientific
explanation.
Fix and explanation. So, I have a couple examples of what I would think of as paranormal. The most paranormal is these two ladies. Where's my freaking thing? What? What?
You're trying to find the mouse on multiple monitors. It's always funny.
Okay. So their name... Have you ever heard of Charlotte Ann Moberly and Eleanor Jourdain?
No, those ones don't ring a bell.
Okay. That's because, honestly, they don't show up very often with time travel. They show up more often with ghost stories.
Okay.
So these two ladies, it is 1911. They are both teachers or school marms or whatever they were at that point in time. School marms. Marm. I want to go time traveling with cappuccino down the street. Jesus. So these two ladies... Hold on.
Telling ghost stories. You're telling a ghost story.
Are you afraid of the dark? Submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society. Okay, I'm blind now. Jesus Christ.
I'm trying not to click a pen.
Okay. I know. I wouldn't say that.
You're technically correct, but when we talk supernatural,
paranormal.
We're normally talking paranormal, non-scientific, unexplainable.
Religious crossover, yes, but not necessarily from a religious perspective.
It's, what's the term? Agnostic?
Yeah.
It's from a higher power that may not necessarily be a religion.
Unexplained by science.
Oh, another disclaimer. We don't ever plan on talking about religion or politics.
Politics. But you get the idea. We're in supernatural, paranormal, that area.
Do a whole episode on just
politics, of paranormal,
Paranormal in general.
and supernatural.
I love that show.
Okay, so these two ladies, school marms, they're opening like a... I'm gonna hit you. They're opening like a boarding school. And they're in France. And they are visiting Versailles. They go to an area that was essentially built for Marie Antoinette as her like little hideout. Okay. Her little, her man cave. Her she shed. It's Marie Antoinette's she shed. I think that's the name of the episode.
Sounds like a name for a metal band.
Marie Antoinette she shed. I'm down. So they go there and things are going along and they're talking and they're just wandering, and then each of them independently start having experiences. They're hearing voices speaking in French. They're seeing
French people in France? Wow.
I'm going to punch you in the fucking mouth.
Now you have to bleep that in the edit. Ha ha.
No, I don't. I don't have to do anything. Anyway, so they start, obviously people in French, but then they see people in very old-timey dress and people just kind of coming in and out, pretending like they don't see them. But the thing is the experiences that A is having are not the same experiences that B is having. So they're both in this time slip. They've gone back to like pre-revolutionary France. But
also sounds like it could be that one time that I didn't realize there was a Ren Fair in town.
Okay.
And I got super confused on Main Street when everyone was dressed like it was the 1930s.
That happened to me one time. We went down to the city for medical procedures, and there were like horse and buggies in the park. However,
so this episode's already extra chaos.
I'm okay with that. However, there's been research done. They did studies to see if there were any parties in the area, because there was a couple of people who threw parties and like had events at the area that were like old-timey and revolutionary. You time slipped?
Yeah, you lost. We'll get back on topic eventually. Maybe.
It is the topic. It's wibbly and wobbly. So they looked to see, in later research, to see if there was any events happening, and there was none. And both of these ladies didn't talk about these things to each other immediately.
Huh.
They waited something like a week or a month, or like, they waited a decent amount of time before they were like, hey, did you see anything weird or anything like that? And so the thought is that these women time slipped, time traveled, because...
Well, couldn't it also be like, there's one episode of Supernatural where they go into a house and there's like 100 people in that, 100 ghosts in the house, all from a certain time period of a serial killer. Couldn't we just be talking about ghosts instead of time travel?
Right. So
they didn't actually change time, but the ghost did.
Right. That's the thing. That's why I wanted to know if you thought of time slips as time travel, because there's also two different types of time slips. There's the kind where, all of a sudden you're in a cabin, but everybody is like transparent and looking at you like, what the crap? And it's...
Is deja vu a time slip?
Is deja vu a time slip?
No, really.
I know.
One of the possible... And this is like way out on the fringes of people thinking, but I've heard a couple of people refer to it, deja vu, as your consciousness jumping forward or backward in time to another point in your life, and that's why you get deja vu, because you made a connection behind you in the timeline, and now you're you're connected to that, so it's like you're there just for a split second, and you're like, this is very familiar because you've already done it.
Or you're going to do it.
Or you got the feeling of a deja vu, but you can't really place it on anything, and then in the future, you end up with a deja vu that links back to that point. I used to keep a journal of my deja vus to see if they connect.
Did they?
Yeah, most of them do. I'd have a deja vu, I'd look into the journal for the description of the deja vu that I just felt, and I'd find something else where I had a deja vu with the same description. Which is wild.
That is wild.
I wonder if I can find that notebook.
I think you should certainly try. Okay, so there's a lot of theories about ghosts, and we're going to have to do ghosts in a different episode.
Ghosts is going to be its own episode.
Because that's what you're talking about, Escalator. So if you're not in the stream, get back over.
I'm being a spooky ghost.
Ooh. Okay, I'm going to have to put that in the edit. So what Escalator's saying is, aren't ghosts usually trapped in the time they died? And it's it's not necessarily, but like we're talking like stone tape, we're talking, location memory. So that would be a valid thought because the people that they saw were of the time that, tons of people died. But not always.
Wait. If you were stuck in one of them situations where time just pauses, would that make you a time traveler? Because everybody around you stays at the same time, but you're awake during the frozen, so you age, so technically you're older than everybody else, and is that time travel?
Are we talking like Quicksilver?
Kind of.
Okay. What do you mean by time pauses?
So trying to think of an example in film. Just like time completely stops for everyone but you.
With the rings.
Sonic the Hedgehog?
Squirrely Pants, Ginger Bum? That one British actor?
Benedict Cumberbatch?
Yeah, that one. With the rings. Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. I love how we've been using that joke for so long. Neither of us can ever remember his actual name anymore.
So are you they do time pauses in that, right?
No, I don't think they stop time entirely. I think I think I'm thinking of Heroes where it happens.
Oh, I haven't watched Heroes, but okay.
Like, they completely pause time, they do a bunch of stuff, and then they unpause time. Is the person that is active during the time pause a time traveler?
I mean, technically, and honestly, even if they're not fully pausing time, if they're slowing time, it's still technically a time traveler.
Relativistic physics.
Yes.
Again. Time travel hurts my head.
Magic and...
Professor X stops time.
In which situation? I remember this happening, but I don't...
I stopped watching the X-Men movies when they started.
Hold on. Put us on.
Gotta mute it. Hold on, the kids just got home. Okay.
Sorry about that, guys. That was our children reappearing. Professor X stops time. He doesn't really watch X-Men anymore ever since the Merc with the mouth got his mouth sewn shut, right?
Yeah. Since they screwed up Deadpool. These timelines are too confusing.
I almost wore that one today and got you your new one.
Stop stealing my shirts.
So we could both wear Deadpool today. Because we're cute. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I would consider that being a time traveler. We are recording. We're off mute, right?
Yeah, we're off mute.
Okay,
we're
cool.
Good.
I would consider that being a time traveler.
Okay.
I also consider that being,
Deadpool's a time traveler.
Deadpool absolutely is a time traveler. So is Wolverine. And or Logan.
Does he actually travel through time?
Yes, because they discovered the way to make him travel through time by taking... Okay. Professor X takes Logan's consciousness and shoots it back to Logan's consciousness in the 70s. It may not have been Professor X. It may have been one of the other X-Men, because I do remember Negasonic Too Many Names in the Name being there.
Can we sidebar just for a second?
Sidebar.
Professor X is supposedly the most powerful X-Men to ever live.
Okay.
And he can be defeated by a sheet of tinfoil.
I think it's a little stronger than tinfoil.
No, it's literally just tinfoil.
I know.
A tinfoil hat protects you from...
Actually, next week, or the next episode, I think we need to wear foil hats.
Can mine be a cowboy hat?
Absolutely. Yes, Wolverine does live through time, but in that sense, I don't think he's a time traveler. I think he's just immortal. Because I know what you're saying. He's ancient, essentially. But I don't think that particular fact makes him a time traveler. It just makes him really fucking old.
We should also do an episode on universes within universes and fourth wall breaks.
And Inception.
Yeah.
Dreamception. Phoenix is strong. Yes, Phoenix is stronger than Professor X.
I don't even know who that is.
That is Jane Grey's alter ego once Magneto gets a hold of her. When she starts losing her bananas, that's when she and unable to control her powers. It's not Circe. It's the hell's her name? It's not Circe. It's the other
Stark?
Yeah, the other Stark girl. Sansa. It's Sansa Stark.
This person.
Yeah, Sansa Stark.
I'd never watched that movie. And I'd never read the X-Men comics other than Deadpool. Hey, La.
La? Hi, La. So.
Back on topic. Time travelers.
Time travelers, time slips.
All over the
Where's
place
my
today.
mouse?
Should have taken...
Should have... No, don't. Don't.
So hard to focus.
Okay. So. Yeah. Yes, she is the new Phoenix and Jane Grey. Yes, the baby Jane Grey. So, I'm going to jump around a little bit.
Jump.
Do you know
The Muffin Man?
the Muffin Man
The Muffin Man!
who lives on Drury Lane?
Sorry. ADHD is real today. Sorry, guys.
Okay, I'm going...
Time travel in comics, another pod? We could do that.
That would be fun. Okay, I'm going to...
The Muffin Man.
I'm going to stare at my screen so I can pronounce this somewhat correctly. Raivata Kakudmi. Okay, do you know who that is?
Sanskrit.
No, that is a separate word.
Oh, well, there's a hyphen. I thought it was a hyphen last name.
No, that's because these are my notes and I know how they're interpreted. Okay.
See, she sends me the notes, but then, like, it's all non sequiturs and just, like, she understands how they all fit together. To me, it's just looks like someone, like, dumped Wikipedia onto a Google Doc.
Well,
Yeah.
they're just there for me to... Yeah. It's
Can you pronounce that name a little bit faster so the furniture starts floating? Sorry. That was probably not politically correct.
Anyway. Okay, so he is the first recorded time traveler
Okay.
ever. So it was in a Sanskrit, not document, that's not the word.
It's not Sanskrit, it's Sanskrit.
Love. It is Sanskrit. It is Sanskrit. See, do you see what I'm saying? It's Sanskrit. Anyway, so he's the first documented time
Where
traveler.
did I discover Sanskrit?
What? India?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I was going to make a joke if it came out of the desert.
There's probably parts of India that are deserts. I don't actually know.
Dude. The sandworm? All the sand. Dude.
Oh my god. So, basically, he's a king. We're talking 400 BC.
Okay.
Okay? He is some sort of Indian king at the time, and he is trying to find a suitor for his daughter. And she's like, psh, none of these dudes. And he's like, psh, none of these dudes. And so they go up to... What are you trying to goobs?
No.
Okay.
You answered my question.
Okay.
Random thought. Just continue.
Okay.
I'm trying not to get distracted.
Okay. So they go up to the land where one of their gods lives. I honestly don't remember which one. To get his advice. And by the time that they travel there, get his advice... I thought you were about to write on my bluey shirt and pen. we're about to have words. I will. Anyway, sorry.
Sorry, guys. My ADHD is completely unregulated today.
By the time they get there, speak to him, and come back. Well, no, by the time they get there and speak to him, he tells them it doesn't matter who you think you're going to marry. Everyone and everyone's family and their children's children, they're all dead and gone by the time you get back there. Because time moves differently in the realm of gods than it does in the realm of men. Which also has me thinking, are time slips fae?
Or scientifically, are they dimensional shifts?
So are we talking like stepping into another dimension? Or are we talking like wormhole?
Let's double back to the last time travel episode. For context.
Yep.
We were talking about paradoxes in causality loops and self-replicating, self-repairing timelines. One of the ways that time travel can resolve itself is by splitting off into a whole new universe, right? So what if your time slips? Are you just kind of whoop, whoop? Because who's to say that one day here is the same as one day here?
Okay.
Could be you're 30,000 in a neighboring timeline.
Okay.
So you jump over to 30,000, you jump back, and there's your time slip, or, vice versa.
Okay, so sort of the way that, like, a day on Mars versus a day on
like a day
Venus kind of thing?
A day on Venus is longer than a year on Venus.
Okay, yes, no, I forgot about that.
They have a totally different time scale.
When you said that...
Ooh, banana.
I just, totally spaced, and that really freaked me out.
Yes, Venus is in space.
Is time slipping like slipping on a banana?
Ooh, banana.
I mean, it could be. Where? I don't know where Roy is going. What? Oh.
Banana!
If you're not watching the stream, Roy has a banana. Anyway, so yeah, that's the first documented case of time travel, and it's just continued from there, essentially.
I apologize. My ADHD is all over the place
Bubby,
today.
it's okay. I love you. Like, we're good.
I just ran and got a banana.
Do you have a favorite time traveler story?
No, most of my time traveler stories are just pictures of people that are very out of place. There's a particular time traveler photo that I'm thinking of that has a guy that's wearing like modern Oakleys, but like back in the 40s. Oh, I was right. It was the 40s.
Yepers.
That one right there. Oh, that one right there.
Hipster at
And it looks like he's
South
holding...
Fork Bridge in Canada.
It looks like he's holding like a game controller or something.
Okay, so the game controller is one of the first more compact cameras. The sweater he's wearing is the it was a hockey team from the area.
Okay.
And it was like one of those sweaters. I guess the sunglasses were relatively common. Well, not common, but they were normal-ish. The only thing that gets me is the like hoodie, but I feel like maybe it's like a cardigan. So this one, within reason, is explicable. I also have a problem with the fact that, where did you go, Roy? Oh, I have an issue with the fact that they call him a hipster. That's not a hipster. Like, I don't...
It used to be.
I don't like the fact that they call him a hipster. There's another one. If you look up iPhone 1860s.
iPhone 1860s?
Oh, yep, that's her. That's her.
Ah, no, not the Daily Mail.
So, they think it's an iPhone.
It's not an iPhone.
It's a prayer book.
Yeah, that's definitely a prayer book.
There's a time traveler you can see in... What?
That's a flip phone.
I don't like the fact of where it's placed. I'm bothered by that.
Convenient.
I feel like they just stuck that one in there so they could be like...
They went back in time to prevent a wardrobe malfunction.
They went back in time to make someone circle someone else's crotch.
It's 1962.
Yes, Keanu Reeves is also immortal, just like Wolverine.
Wait, why does Jesus have Sputnik? I've never seen this one before.
You haven't seen... No, this is... Okay, this is one of the ones that usually shows up on aliens.
Aliens.
Because they're like, oh, it's a little spaceship. It's, it's supposed to be God and Jesus, like, creating the earth.
No, I spelled that way wrong.
No, I know, it's friggin' Sputnik.
It's friggin' Sputnik. If you're listening on a podcasting platform, go to our YouTube. You can see it there. Patreon gets it first. It shows up on YouTube like a week later.
Jesus has friggin' Sputnik.
But yeah, Jesus is like just doodling with Sputnik, and he's also got like a red marker. Oh, thanks for making it smaller. That's really helpful.
That's probably not... Is it a red marker, or is it supposed to be where he got stabbed?
Oh, maybe it's where he got stabbed.
It might be where he got stabbed. And then the Pope's down here taking notes.
This lady's got a laptop. It's definitely not a little briefcase or
makeup.
chest set
It's
makeup.
It's definitely makeup.
With USB ports. Oh.
I wonder if they had to flip their...
Of course it's Nick Cage.
Of course it's Nick Cage. I mean, the man doesn't really age. Oh, whoa. God, what in the hell?
Okay, I fucking hate the Daily Mail.
I know. So, in Charlie Chaplin's The Circus, The Courage...
Yeah, Keanu Reeves is immortal as well, yep.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's true. Keanu Reeves painting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, he is absolutely also...
Tom Cruise hasn't aged a day in 30 years.
Also, guys, do you want me to mess up Tom Cruise for the rest of your life?
You mean middle tooth?
Middle tooth. He didn't know about this. Tom Cruise has a tooth directly in the center of his face.
It says Brad Pitt as well. That's funny. I'll have to look at that.
His tooth is dead center of his face. There you go. You're welcome. It's the Scientology. They put his tooth in the middle of his face.
Good old middle tooth. I gotta look at the Brad Pitt one.
Yeah, I haven't seen the Brad Pitt one. Not nearly as convincing.
No, I don't see it.
I don't see it either.
Tom Cruise.
Maybe they forgot who Brad Pitt was, and they mixed up Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise, so they were like, let's just call them both.
All right, but back on topic.
Okay.
Stop talking about middle tooth.
In Charlie Chaplin's The Circus, there's supposed to be a time traveler with something up to her ear like she's making a phone call.
Oh, God, I can't spell.
That's correct.
Oh, I got it right. No way. Ta-da!
Okay, so she's... Oh, that's what the zebra was.
Yeah. It looks like she's talking on a cell phone.
It's some sort of... It's... like hearing device.
She's like, yes, sir, I successfully went back in time to get into a Charlie Chaplin film. The timeline is secure.
There is a zebra. Yeah, no, she's... See, I hadn't really seen this one. I assumed that this person was younger. Now that I'm seeing it, it's absolutely a hearing device. Okay? She's just old and it can't hear like me.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
DeLoreans are horrible. Sorry, go ahead.
Escalator, you time slipped?
Yeah, he keeps losing... he can't follow our ADHD.
Oh, I got excited. I thought he time slipped like IRL. Okay.
Sidebar, DeLoreans suck when the hydraulics on the door quit. The door weighs like 180 pounds and will remove your leg. My mom's ex-husband has one, and yeah, I dropped it on my leg from like that high, and I had a bruise that lasted for like a month.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Back on topic, sorry.
So, I'm going to go over a few scammers, and I'm going to go over the ones that I genuinely believe, okay? Bob White and Tim Jones, garbage fucking humans. What in the heck?
That's the hearing device. Yeah, I know. I thought it was something sus too at first. Oh my God, look at the name of it.
My God.
It's
no.
It's a Siemens 1924 hearing aid.
Oh no. Oh no. I get deja vu too. Not as often anymore.
No, he was referring back to when we were asking about deja vu.
Oh, deja vu.
And then you asked me the same thing I asked you.
Oh. I'm just done.
I would say it, but I don't remember it.
Something about deja vu.
My...
Bob White and Tim Jones are douchebags. Absolute douche canoes. They were sending out emails claiming to be time travelers. At least Bob White was. I can't remember exactly what Tim Jones was. He may have been the same person, or he may have been someone responding to him. And they were trying to sell courses on how to time travel.
Huh.
And...
Seems like information you wouldn't want to just hand out.
But that's how they were scamming people.
Yeah.
By selling, I'm a time traveler, sending out
I have an
emails.
ex-girlfriend who owns an acre of land on the moon.
Oh.
Sorry. I can't friggin' not plates, not plats. Plots. My ADHD is all over today. The man who owns the moon.
Oh my God.
There's a guy who took a map of the moon, he divided it up into 1 acre plots and started to sell it to people. Despite the fact that he doesn't own the moon because he hasn't touched it yet.
Which girlfriend? First initial.
S.
The very first S or one of the later S's?
One of the later S's.
Ah, okay.
Sorry. I keep derailing us.
So,
Look at my search history.
if you can't see it right now, Sputnik, Hipster 1941, Sanskrit Dictionary, Phoenix X-Men, Neil deGrasse Tyson fish meme, $3,600 in 1941 today, U.S. paratroopers, 30 cents, U.S. entered World War II. Like, Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah, my ADHD is on another level this morning.
So the other day you asked me about someone on my list, and I'm going to pronounce this wrong. The Crumbly Black Hole Star?
No, I did not. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, maybe that'll be a mini-sode.
That's neat.
Or a whole episode. So I'm going to butcher this. Possibly. I don't remember if it's Swedish, but if it's Swedish, Escalator, you can help me. Håkan Nordvisk?
Gesundheit.
So, the story was...
Where is it?
It's that one. So, the story was that he was working on his sink drain underneath his sink, and then he time-slipped forward. And in the process, he found someone, a 70-year-old version of himself.
I time-slip forward all the time. I also have brain damage.
And they both had the exact same tattoo. You want to know what it was? It was a fucking insurance ad. It came out later that it was an insurance ad. I'm impressed by that one, but...
Is it this guy?
Yes, it is that guy. But, yeah, so that was an ad. So, the ones that I believe and that I'm very excited about, and that...
It's Håkan. Håkan.
Håkan Nordvisk? Am I closer? If anybody doesn't know, Escalator is Swedish, and he helps me with my moderate Swedish pronunciation. No annoying noises. You mean like this? Okay. Holy shit. This is going to be a number to edit.
Don't edit it. Just send it up wholesale so people know what to get into.
You're not wrong. Okay. So, Mike Madman Markham. Have you heard of him?
Mike Markham? Sounds familiar, but...
Okay. So, he was a caller on Art Bell Coast to Coast, which was a call-in radio show. I think it stopped in the 2000s.
Okay. Oh, God, that's an unfortunate looking
Yeah,
human.
it's rough. It's rough. But the man invented a time machine, so wouldn't you look rough?
Hold on, let me get a... There's math here. Let me...
Real close. So
there it is.
Supposedly, he called into Art Bell's call-in radio show, which is like a paranormal, supernatural experience radio show.
Magnetized spark gap.
And
horseshoe magnets.
he claimed to have created a time machine.
Can I...
Yep.
The man's a genius. He somehow made horseshoe magnets not in the shape of a horseshoe. Sorry, go ahead. Input can reach into the billions of volts.
Huh. No, that's output.
Output. Billions of volts through a 3/4 inch diameter rod. So this is a one-time fire thing. Heat-resistant flexible seal conductor.
Oh, he had Flex Seal. He had spray-on shoes.
Hardwood plywood. Nice. Copper plates. 1/16 positive.
If you're not currently watching, you may want to watch this later on. Roy is reading off the specs for this man's time machine.
I love that he shows the math. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. It's not the scale.
Ah, okay.
This looks like something I would have drawn in like 3rd grade.
Yeah, but
Actually, this isn't all that. Granite transducer hammer, 30,000 cycles a minute. Wood, maybe I'll do a GoFundMe. I'll get the materials list. I'll dig into this as deep as I can. Figure out what it'll cost, and then we'll build the thing.
I would love that. Okay, so here's the thing. We're seeing this time machine on the screen. He made this call into Art Bell in 1995. No one saw him after 1997. And supposedly, he did reappear within the last however long, but he disappeared for a good amount of time. So...
By the way, the thing he drew out there is just a spark gap generator. Electronic ignition lighters, not the rolly ones with the flint, but the ones that
The lasery
click.
ones?
The ones that click, they're typically butane. They use a spark gap generator.
Okay. Huh, neat.
It's just hand building a spark gap generator. You can go down to the dollar store and get, 2 of them for $1.
Neat.
Granted, they won't produce billions of volts, but
Billions.
billions. Billions and
So I
billions,
was intrigued by him simply due to the fact that, he disappeared for a while.
That's a spark generator from a lighter.
Okay. How long have we been going for?
50 minutes. 50.
Can we take a 3-minute break? I need to stretch my neck.
Yes, we can take a short break. We're going to take a short break. Everybody, get up, go stretch your legs. We'll be right back.
And we're back. Escalator. I would be totally cool with you making us some elevator music.
Wouldn't it be escalator music?
I was going to say that I was down for escalator music. So Escalator, if you want to make us some escalator music for the in-between times when we screw up or have to go take a break.
I apologize for my ADHD. My insomnia has been in full swing in the last month or so. And I got 2 hours of sleep last night and only 3 the night before, which is a really, really, really good way to make my caffeine super effective at making me wired.
Yes, we realized that while we were taking our break. And yeah, no, I'm down for disappearing into a little bunker with food, especially Swedish food. Yeah, I would be super jazzed. That would be so much fun to have escalator music. Okay, I have one more person to talk about.
Okay.
This one I am so torn. There are reasons that I believe in this dude. Andrew Basiago.
Sounds familiar.
Okay. So, he is a well-respected lawyer in Seattle? Wait, no. Seattle's not a state. Washington State. I believe, roughly. So he's a well-respected lawyer in Washington State, and he signed an affidavit that said he's aware he will be in deep shit if anyone proves that what he's saying is wrong or anything like that. He says that he was involved in a program through DARPA.
Of course it's DARPA.
That involved time travel and travel to Mars.
DARPA has been working on time travel and travel to Mars, but it's not time travel in the actual sense. I do believe it's quantum research for a new type of drive that they've been doing since the 90s, and I believe it failed.
Okay, so
allegedly,
if
it's the U.S. government, trust nothing.
If you're not sure or don't know, DARPA is the Defense Advanced Research Project Agency. So basically, any sort of black sussy projects, black projects or dark projects.
Black project, dark projects, non-existent projects.
Yes.
Philadelphia project is a well-known one. That was DARPA. Everyone talks about HARP, the weather-controlling machine based in Alaska. If there's a conspiracy theory that involves the U.S. government in some kind of high technology device, DARPA's the one behind it.
Even if there's not technological devices.
DARPA is in charge of developing new technology for the U.S. government.
Mm-hmm. So, this is part of Project Pegasus.
Ooh.
Supposedly,
allegedly,
this man, Andrew Basiago, who I keep wanting to call Balenciaga, was recruited because his father was a contractor. His father, or an engineer with these government programs. And they were recruiting time travelers. And when he was a kid, his father was like, I'm already, cleared for this stuff. Let's bring my kid. Because apparently kids time travel much better than adults because they don't have preconceived notions and such like that.
Yeah, it wouldn't break their brain as hard.
Yeah. So supposedly, he has traveled back to the Gettysburg Address, I believe it was. He traveled to Lincoln's assassination. He's been to Mars, and he's met future presidents. These future presidents.
Is this the man? Is this man the reason why it's no longer the Berenstein Bears?
No.
Is that where my monocle went from the Pringles guy? Is he the reason why Nelson Mandela didn't die in prison?
No. I still think that is because
That's a whole other episode.
What's the thing?
What the frig is the name of that?
The thing with the scary deer and the six-legged dogs and
the not deer?
No. Six-legged dogs and fish that walk, and it's in the Ukraine.
Chernobyl?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how I got that.
Isn't that why we have Mandela effects?
Oh, no, it's not Chernobyl. It's CERN.
Okay.
Well, we talked about paradoxes and how they might heal butterfly effect in the last episode. If this man actually did travel back in time to these things, he would cause ripples in time.
Right.
Or possibly collapse universes into each other, or create new universes, and God knows what that would do to the human psyche, so that could describe the Mandela effect. For those of you who don't know what the Mandela effect, a lot of people believe, a vast majority of people believe that Nelson Mandela died in the 90s.
I wouldn't say it's a majority, but there's a good portion of people who believe that Nelson Mandela died in the 90s, in prison. He did not. There's an L before the S. There you go.
See, look, they're even...
Yeah.
Oop. See, he died in 2013, but everybody remembers him dying... In prison.
The early 90s.
Here's a Reddit post about it.
However, this is not the only Mandela effect. This is one of many.
Here, let me pull up... I'm just going to type in Mandela effect and click...
Images.
So the Mandela effect is a social phenomenon in which a group of people incorrectly remember very specific details about a person, place, situation, or event as if it were reality. And these delusions are shared. Like, the Monopoly guy never had a monocle. He definitely had a friggin' monocle. Pikachu never had black on the tail.
Which is a fucking lie. Curious George.
Curious George never had a tail. Apparently, Waldo never had a cane. There was never a cornucopia in Fruit of the Loom.
That's a fucking lie.
I know there was a cornucopia.
That's a lie. So anyway, what we're getting at is...
so different universes could technically be time travel depending on the time scale of the next universe. I'd love to do a completely factually incorrect multiverse episode.
Ooh, yeah. So
like a Rick and Morty-esque finite curve.
Yep. Just go over all of the things we remember or other people remember that are currently in our universe not correct.
No. We could do a Mandela effect episode too. No, I'm talking like when we talk about the multiverse in abstract. Like neighboring universes differing where, your bluey shirt is blue and not pink. And that's the only difference between the universes. Or universes where we're all frogs.
Yeah.
And how they vary and differ.
The very muscular pig universe.
The infinite universes thing where everything exists because it's infinite. Therefore, every combination of everything must exist. And that's a whole episode on its own.
Oh, God, yeah. So the Mandela effect is the idea that one of the ways that time travel and the universe could heal itself is because of is by the Mandela effect. Like,
the time stream healed itself, but the human psyche shields itself slightly.
Huh. I didn't know about the E.T. Mandela effect.
Home phone?
I think we need to
I've never heard of that one. No, it's definitely phone home.
Is that a mouse?
No, that's a car.
It's so cute.
Those are, that's how you pick up paint. These are samples.
That is adorable, and I want it as a mouse, though. Anyway, okay.
Like the Berenstein Bears, spelled with an A or an E, is another one that really gets me.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, Mandela effects really get us. There's a lot of them that we're like, something's not right. But that could be why, that could be how the universe heals itself. And you're right, that could be why we have Mandela effects, because of this project. Now, Andrew Basiago was not the only person doing these time travel tests. I guess there were people before him, and there were some splinching issues. If you read Harry Potter, splinching is when one body part comes through at a different rate than the rest of your body when you apparate or disapparate.
Well, so we talked about the precision that would be required to travel in time in the last episode. So you would need to be able to calculate the position of the planet, the rotation of the planet, down to a millimeter over the course of several thousand years. And this includes like an asteroid that narrowly missed the planets in, let's say, 0 AD. So if you traveled before 0 AD and you don't know about that asteroid, the planet's not going to be where you expect it to be, according to the math.
Right.
And you can end up in the planet, you could end up in space, in a building, just missing entirely. Like the mathematical positional data, unless you could make it relative to the gravitational field of the planet, which is the only way I could think of doing it.
Right. You would have to...
It depends on your frame of relativity where you're traveling to. If you're just relative to the planet, that's easy. Now, it's actually not, because the planet rotates. So where you're standing now, on the planet, you have to calculate how many rotations and how far things would have traveled to put you in the right place at
What
the right
if
time.
you made your time travel box, what if you made your time machine fully stationary, like bolted it to the ground, right? And
how many trees do you think were right here where we're sitting 100 years ago?
But just bear with me. Bear with me. Let's say we bolted our time machine to the ground in one spot, okay? And we created it so that we could like opposite of the drive we were talking about last time.
Okay.
The
Alcubierre drive?
Alcubierre drive. So opposite. So it's not the machine traveling through time. It's the machine being stationary.
So a Milner situation.
Yes. So the machine is a fixed point in space-time, and it creates a bubble around you, and you are the only thing traveling.
The planet's still not going to be there. You still have to do the same calculations to figure out where the planet's in its rotation cycle.
But if it's bolted to the ground, like if it's fixed to the ground,
only what's inside of the bubble is going to remain fixed. So you're just going to take a section of the ground with you when you leave. Because if you were to bubble it to the point where you remain fixed to the planet, the whole planet's going to go back in time, which is going to merge with the planet that's back there and be catastrophic.
Oh, that's terrifying.
You could, in theory, like do a drone. Actually, let's play with the thought a little bit here. The way you're saying it, we have to assume that we are fixed to the gravitational pull of the planet.
Okay.
So we can use that gravity as a targeting system, so we don't have to calculate our position in the universe to an accuracy of less than an inch. So it's just relative to the planet. Relative is a very key term here. We could calculate the approximate location on the map with fair accuracy, but we wouldn't know what's on the ground at a given point in time. There could be a cart sitting here that was only here for 20 minutes, and that just happens to be where you land.
And there are sections of Manhattan that used to be much, much, much lower than they are now.
And there's places in Manhattan that used to be higher as hills and have been lowered over time. The perfect example.
What the hell are they called? The mountains. The
Appalachians.
Yeah.
So you could do a drone or a glider, something small, cheap,
okay,
with the ability to transmit back through time,
okay,
or be recovered.
Okay.
Spawn it at 35,000 feet.
Okay.
You're not going to hit anything at 35,000 feet.
Fair.
It coasts down, It scans the area, it finds a field, and measures the height of the field. It is then recovered either through time travel or sitting there. What the frig was the name of that? The ADHD. It sits there in a field, camouflaged. So you launch it, and then you walk out to the field behind the building, and you go pick up this plane that's out there, right?
Uh-huh.
And now you can tell what's in the area to properly aim your person so they don't end up in a tree.
Or in a tree. What if that's what's happening? What if that's the aliens and the crop circles and the ships we see? What if they're drones being sent back or forward, probably back, to see where shit is so that we don't time travel into the Empire State Building?
So what you were talking about with this guy going way back to like the Gettysburg Address and stuff like that would be nearly impossible without sending something back first. But you're talking about crop circles and UFOs, and you know what? That actually makes sense, because you know what existed in the 60s, 70s, and 80s when all this stuff happened? Security cameras, video footage.
Okay.
So we pick a field. Someone with their cameras, recording some films on a field in New Mexico.
Okay.
Right? And then fast forward to, 2020, we've built a time machine. I have this real footage from Route 66.
I have evidence that
there's nothing in this field, which would make a perfect spot to aim for.
Okay.
The rise of film coincides perfectly with the rise of UFO and crop circles. So, again, all just mad conjecture here.
But that would... Okay, so I've heard the idea that the UFOs, UAPs that people have been seeing are reconnaissance drones. But I never thought of them as reconnaissance drones for a time period. I always thought of them as reconnaissance drones for another species or another universe.
Another tie-in to a previous episode. What does a wormhole look like?
It's bubble. It's bubble.
And what does a bubble look like if it's directly over your head?
It's a shit. It's a circle.
You would need a stable wormhole. And the colors coming off from the wormhole would likely be the colors of the device that's producing the other end.
And
so, though the UFO patterns could in fact just be the lights of the machine producing the wormhole to create the time travel effect. Here we go. Now we're actually this is the first episode I feel like we're earning our philosophy tag.
Okay. And lately there have been cubes. Okay, there have been cubes. And I can't remember if their cubes have been inside of the bubble or the bubble has been inside of the cubes. But there's been bubbles with...
not Bubic. What a typo.
But wait. No,
So now we're back to multidimensional objects.
Yeah. And honestly, I would believe multidimensional first.
So a tesseract, right? Which is a four-dimensional object represented in a 3D space.
Yep.
Wormholes may not be three-dimensional. They're multi-dimensional as we know them. Right. I don't know how many particular dimensions or which dimensions they have, but I know they have more than...
We know they are minimum four-dimensional.
So cubic may be another attempt at a more stable wormhole.
Right.
By producing a tesseract, the inside of the tesseract is the portal on our side, the forward side.
Okay.
And the outside of that tesseract, that fourth dimension, is a cube, and then what we're left with is your cubes. Or your cubes could also be the probes.
Okay. Go to the Googs and recent spaceship recent UFO sightings.
I have completely forgotten how to spell.
But I'm looking for the cubes. God damn it. Yeah, just cubes. That's
that one?
Okay. This is a good representation, I think. That's a fucking phone case. Never mind.
That looks like one of Boeing's new fighters.
Okay. This is the idea. There's a sphere around a cube, and the sphere could be the wormhole like we were talking.
And the cube is the probe that's taking the readings.
Yes.
Now, mind you, the technology, the energy requirements to make a stable wormhole to send any amount of matter back in time, even milliseconds, would require most of the world's power grid for several minutes.
Right. But that's...
Unless they figured out fusion reactors, which we're getting close to.
Okay. I hate this.
Because...
fusion reactors may be reliant on mayonnaise.
Wait, what?
No, I dead ass. I saw this article pop up either this morning or last night, and it said fusion may or mayonnaise may be an important part of fusion. Yes, that is exactly what I said too, Escalator. What the fuck? That is not just like mayo.
We're not going to talk about it.
Oh no.
I didn't see it. I don't want to know.
Neither do I. But we may have to play it at the end.
Because mayonnaise behaves like a solid, but when subjected to a pressure gradient, it starts to flow. Traditional molten metal, if you put stress on mayonnaise, it will start to deform, but if you remove the stress, it goes back to its original shape. Mayonnaise could help improve fusion energy yields.
You're welcome.
Okay, it's not like they're... Okay, they're not pouring mayonnaise into the reactor like I was picturing.
I didn't read the article. I just went... Fusion and mayonnaise, I hate.
I'm actually really good at typing, just not under pressure. I don't like people watching me type.
This is a what's the word?
Crazy high words per minute when I type.
It's
I just can't spiel. So it sounds like it acts kind of like a non-Newtonian fluid, but in a very specific way. And if they can create something that has the same properties as mayonnaise, it will help fusion reactors. Not that
the smell.
Not that you're like, hey, the reactor's slowing down. I need more Hellmans.
Oh, that would create an absolute fight. Are we going to do Hellmans? Are we going to do Miracle Whip? Are we going to do Dukes? Like, which one is the proper mayonnaise to put into a fusion reactor?
So, okay, we talked back to before we got distracted by mayonnaise fusion reactions.
Yep.
The energy requirements to create a stable wormhole are about twice that of an Alcubierre drive.
Uh-huh.
If we could create an Alcubierre drive that could even move a marble, well, it could even move a grain of sand. The U.S. government will already have developed it and be weaponizing it and showing the world. Because you get a grain of sand to 99.9% of the speed of light, it's going to hit with more energy than a nuke.
Yeah. This...
You could use a matter-antimatter reactor and fully annihilate a super dense substance like uranium, but again, we're talking a nuclear explosion, levels of energy that needs to be contained, and to produce a single gram of antimatter is like... Antimatter is the single most expensive thing pound for pound.
Right.
I'm really trying to see if this could be technically feasible.
Right.
Price of one antimatter.
Yes. Hello, sir.
I'll take one antimatter, please.
I would like one antimatter.
Yeah.
Is she antimatter?
2,700 trillion dollars per gram. Trillion.
Trillion with a T. So, two things. One, government programs. Andrew Basiago. This is the perfect point for next episode.
What's next episode?
We're going to talk about government programs and time travel.
Okay. Yeah, we're not even halfway through our time travel sheet yet.
No. But before we conclude, we need to type in something that I saw come up on a search. Go ahead,
Escalator doesn't want me to type because I can't spiel. Outer Range. Dark Matter was a really good show. Outer Range, I don't think I've seen. I'll have to look into it.
Can you mute this?
Yeah, once it starts.
Okay.
Hold on, someone's ringing our doorbell.
Oh.
Alright, it was just the baby coming home, so yeah, we gotta end this now.
I'm unmuted? Okay. Okay, guys.
They can hear us, they can't see us.
So, the last thing we're going to watch is Mayonnaise on an Escalator.
Why?
Because it showed up on your search when you were looking for mayonnaise fusion.
It sounds like it's a song.
I don't know, but there's Mayonnaise on an Escalator. Okay, guys.
Thanks for watching.
Oh, balls, that didn't even record that.
Oh, nice.
Oh, well.
Oh. Prop hunt. Leave that up. I want to watch that.
Okay, guys. We will see you for the next recording.
You can, if you missed the beginning, or you want to re-listen or re-watch, we're available on every podcast platform that we could think of. We're on YouTube. The VOD will be up here on Twitch for like a week. Patreon gets the YouTube video first, and a week later?
Yep, a week later.
It goes public on YouTube.
But the episode will be up probably tomorrow, maybe Tuesday. It depends on how long it takes me to edit this. And
the first episode of the Time series is already up on the YouTube. Go check that out too.
Yep. So, okay. We love you guys. Go look at our link in the the show notes when we're done. And we will talk to you soon. You ready, Roy?
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, you've reached wddst podcast with Miss Roy and Royal Color Games. We can't come to the phone right now, but if you love what you heard, make sure you rate, review, and subscribe on your favorite listening platform. Stay connected to us on Twitter and catch us live on Twitch at Royal Color Games 1. Craving more chaos? Visit our website, wddstpod.wixsite.com/we don't do small talk for merch and other updates. Support for this podcast comes from listeners like you and us right now. Join our Patreon to keep this mess going and to get more bonus goodies. Until next time, embrace knowledge and embrace chaos. Oh, and if you have an episode suggestion for us, leave a message after the beep at wddstpod@gmail.com.